What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Lanzero back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a big lawsuit that just finally hit a settlement regarding Epic Games and the FTC. Now, I know at this point it seems like Epic can't really catch a break because at every turn it seems like they're always falling in some type of trouble. And this time it comes with a lawsuit that was brought by the FTC regarding Fortnite and some of the violations that apparently it has partaken in. Now, from this lawsuit, Epic has been fined a whopping $520 million, which is probably one of the largest fines that a video game company has ever been hit with. Now, to break down what's currently going on, both the FTC and Epic have put out statements, which I'll put links to in the description below. But just to give you some aspects of it, let's start with what the FTC had to say. So within the FTC statement, they do of course mention the fact that Epic was hit with a $520 million fine, but that fine comes in two forms. The first one being $275 million, which goes towards the violation that Epic did regarding Children's Privacy Acts. That being the fact that Epic did not take steps towards protecting children's data and privacy. And the second one being $245 million, which apparently goes towards the fact that Epic was engaging in dark patterns and shady billing practices toward users. Now, delving a little bit deeper into these two violations that Epic is being charged for, the FTC states that Epic put children and teens at risk through its lax privacy practices and cost consumers millions in illegal charges through the dark patterns. Under the proposed orders announced today, the company will be required to change its default settings, return millions to consumers, and pay a record-breaking penalty for its privacy abuses. Now, regarding the privacy violations charges that were brought before Epic, the FTC states that Epic willingly knew the fact that their default settings would cause harm to children. That being the fact that when you first create an account with Fortnite or with Epic Games and you get into the game Fortnite, voice chat and text chat are turned on by default, which I can understand to some level that yes, especially when it comes to voice chat, that is probably something that I would rather opt into than have turned on from the very beginning. And also the FTC states that Epic made it a little bit too difficult for people to be able to find ways to turn off the voice chat within Fortnite. I can probably attest to that because I remember when I used to play Fortnite, sometimes I want to turn off the voice chat, it was a little bit hard to find. The FTC also highlights the fact that apparently Epic employees from as early as 2017 had called out the dangers that having these default settings turned on could potentially pose. But Epic did not heed those warnings, and here we are now with this big old whopping fine. Now let's talk about the second violation that Epic has currently been hit with, which is regarding illegal dark patterns that have been used within their eShop. So the FTC said that Epic makes it a little bit too easy for people to accidentally purchase games within the shop, being the fact that all it takes is one click and you've bought the game. There seems to be supposedly no prompts or no anything that stops you from buying a game. Personally, I do not remember if that's actually the case, but that is something that we'll have to check for ourselves now, won't we? And the second complaint within this violation was the fact that users were being charged without their consent. That being the fact that when it comes to the children who are playing the game, whenever they purchase things within the game, it ends up not being from the consent of the parents. Now, for something like that, personally, I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but we'll talk a little bit more about it later on in the video. And the last piece of this violation when it comes to the illegal dark practices comes in the fact that Epic bans users, according to the FTC, who engage in chargebacks. Say somebody accidentally bought some skins or accidentally bought a skin, or if their kids accidentally bought too many V-Bucks and they end up doing a buyback, Epic ends up banning that account. Of course, the FTC is saying that that is an unfair and harsh punishment towards those who get penalized for some things. Now, once the settlement was finalized, Epic ended up coming out with their own blog post where they ended up stating that there will be some changes moving forward within the game, and also, of course, addressing a lot of the things that were made within the lawsuit as well. So Epic started off by talking about the payment and refund system and what some changes will be for that. They did, of course, mention the fact that they had made it as easy as possible for users to be able to purchase what they wanted within the games, which I know is something that a lot of different games and a lot of different stores try to strive for. Because if there's one thing that I'm kind of aware of, especially when it comes to these types of online marketing, is the fact that less obstacles that are in the way of a user and what it is that they want to buy, the higher chance it is that a user will be able to purchase whatever it is that they want. Because let's face it, if you were bombarded with like 5 pages of things trying to verify if you wanted to purchase this item, there's a high chance that at some point you might decide that you don't want to buy this anymore. So at the end of the day, it is within their incentive to make your purchase process as painless as possible. But in this case, it seems like apparently it's backfiring at some point. And regarding the children's privacy aspect, Epic themselves even mentioned the fact that Fortnite is a rated T game. The ESRB rated it T13, which means that it is meant for people who are of the age of 13 and above. The FTC ended up basically charging them about the fact that they are not taking consideration into protecting people who are under the age of 13. To someone like me, that doesn't make any sense, but here we are with the law, and apparently the law says that you still have to take that into consideration despite what your ESRB rating is. And to help combat this, Epic ended up rolling out something called cabin accounts, which at this point I guess are more so like parental controlled accounts, where only certain things will be tailored towards the people who utilize accounts, such as kids. And other than that, Epic ended up, of course, assuring players that they will continue to strive towards making the game as safe and as fun as possible for everyone who utilizes it at the end. Now, with all of that out of the way, I want to give you guys my own thoughts on this lawsuit, I guess. Let's start off with the violation of children's privacy data. Like I had stated, Fortnite is rated T14. Once upon a time, the ESRB rating, or basically ratings in general, were made for the purpose to help parents make an informed decision when you're trying to get games for your kids. Now, I understand we are currently in an age where everything is for the most part digital, so it's not that easy for you to be able to parent what your kids are doing. But at the end of the day, personally, to me, I don't think it's the company's job to make sure that you are not letting your kids play games that aren't necessarily meant for them. Case in point, Grand Theft Auto is rated M. At the end of the day, if a child is playing Grand Theft Auto because their parents didn't basically put in the security to prevent them from doing that, that shouldn't fall back on Rockstar. But that's my thought, that's my opinion. There are parental control systems available in various video games, in the consoles, on websites, but it's there for parents to use. If you don't use it, then I mean, at that point, who else are you to blame but yourself? But that's my opinion on that. At the end of the day, more security is always better. But if people don't utilize it, who's really at fault then? Now let's talk about the second one when it comes to the dark billing practices that apparently Epic was going. I have heard time and time again when it comes down to children basically spending their parents' money in games on the iPads, on their phones, or on the consoles. For something like that, again, it really, to me, I feel like this falls back onto the parents. It is your job to make sure that your money will not, that your kids can't easily get their hands on your credit card, your debit card, or whatever to just spend your money. And even then, even if you were to save your card information on an account, say your PSN, your Xbox Live, your Steam, 9 times out of 10, they usually give you an option to set up a verification system where whenever you want to buy something, either a password has to be put in, the card information has to be put in. Something has to be done in order to confirm that purchase. Now, it is very, very possible that in Fortnite, that system doesn't exist. And in that case, of course, then they should be penalized for that. But at the same time, again, to the parents, it is still your job to try and make sure that you are doing your due diligence to prevent your kids from accidentally spending your money, especially when it comes to these types of mobile games. It is very, very easy for people to just spend money on things. I, for one, even for myself, have put roadblocks for me just in case I'm having second thoughts on purchasing something. That roadblock is there to essentially allow me to have to think, am I sure I still want to buy this or not? Now, when it comes to the refund part of Fortnite, I know that within Fortnite, there is a system that when you buy a skin, you are able to refund it. Now, last I remember, it was limited. I believe you had about 5 returns, and I don't know if that was within the period of time or if that was just lifetime returns, period. But there was that system in place. I would hope that people wouldn't make that many mistakes whenever they're buying skins within a certain period of time when they're playing Fortnite, but at the end of the day, it is always possible that things can happen. So of course, if people are being unjustly banned from just trying to get their money back, especially if Epic ends up not being cooperative, that is something that needs to be worked on, and that is something that they need to definitely fix for the future. But all in all, that is everything that we know about this story so far. Once again, Epic has now been fined a whopping $520 million, and apparently changes will be seen within Fortnite. But of course, the FTC did say one more thing, that being the fact that this is essentially a warning and a lesson to every other company out there who engages in these types of practices. especially the online games, because there are plenty of online games who all have voice chatting and who all have in-game shops where they try to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to purchase things. So now everyone has to be looking within themselves to try and find out ways that they can help make things better for both themselves and also for the consumer as well. So at the end of the day, let us hope that all of this ends up making things a lot more positive, especially for when it comes to the consumer side of things. But that is it for today's video, everyone. Let me know what you guys think about this massive lawsuit and settlement in the comment section below. Do you guys think that this was all Epic's fault, or do you think that the users also have some blame within this as well? I would really like to know. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, and if you enjoy what we do here in the channel when it comes to video game news and reviews, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell as well so you never miss one of our videos. But that is it for me, everyone. I hope you have a good one, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.